How you doing, YouTube family? Today is Saturday, September the 27th, 2025. It's your man Big D, and I'm back with another one. Want to thank all you good folk out there in YouTube land for continuing to rock out with my son and I. We greatly appreciate you. Thank you. Well, family, I'm back with another video. And in this video, we have a sister came on these YouTube streets and she has some words of wisdom. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and see what this is talking about.
If you are used to saying, "Where are all the good men?" and all the good men are taken, well, they might be. You might have to share. Everyone wants a good man, right? Everyone wants a strong, stable, handsome, sexy man that can put it down. Oh, yeah, they can lead the way, who's good, who's faithful, who's generous, who's kind, but firm, sexy as hell. Yeah. Okay, you're already sharing, many of you, and it's not doing you any good. Why share as a side chick, a piece of ass? Why not be a queen? Why not be a wife? Why not be a second or third or fourth wife? It just depends what he can afford. Why wouldn't you want to keep all the money in the same house so you have more money and you can have help and get along? But if he's a good man to one woman and he has the ability, the resources, why can't a good man be a good man to two women? I'm just saying, ladies, we have to face the reality, and you might as well make the best deal for yourself. Fit, fun, feminine, friendly, cooperative. Give us a message, okay? I'll send you over to my husband to talk.
Y'all heard of family. Ladies, are y'all listening? Y'all hear what she said? Now, let's examine this for a second. She said a good man. She didn't tell y'all to share no little dank. She didn't tell y'all to share no little pookie. So we first got to establish the fact that got to be a good man. You might ask, what is a good man? Well, a good man is a man that can make consistent, educated decisions. Life is not in shambles. Got a roof over his head. He ain't living with his mama. Doing, doing well in life. But all that depends because I believe that successful men, unless you just born with money, successful men, you have to grow to get to that point. Nobody comes out the womb and 18 years later, you just a success story. I just no, I don't it don't work like that. So at some point, everybody got to put in the work. That is part of the process. So I believe a good man should be educated, not so much educated that he's an educated fool, because having degrees don't mean anything. It just means that you put in the work in somebody educational institution and you was resilient enough and you were dependable enough where you finished your 4-year degree or your 2-year degree. Or if you went to trade school. So don't necessarily have to be a college degree. It could be you could have went to a tech school. You could have a certification. So I believe that a well-to-do man, if he's not an entrepreneur, and I mean a successful entrepreneur, ain't talking about no dope boy, that don't count. If you're not a successful entrepreneur, then you then need to be in somebody's career field where you have the ability to make six figures or better. So there are many nuances to what I believe a good man is. But as I said, men go through different phases and transitions in life. And I'm talking about successful men. So now that we've kind of established the fight about when she said everybody want a good man, well, everybody want a good man. Everybody ain't gonna be able to get no good man. You see, like this lady said, we are in a time where well-to-do, successful men are hard to come by. Listen, I'm not talking about no let's keep it realistic. I'm not talking about no football player. I'm not talking about no actor, and I'm not talking about no entertainer. I'm not talking about any of that because ladies, far and wide, the average chick you ain't gonna marry no multi-millionaire. So get that out your head. So now we talking about a dude that perhaps in a position he can look after 2 women, 3 women. He got the financial ability to do that. So we talking about a good man who has the financial ability to perhaps be able to take care of 2 women. Why would you not understand that every woman want a good dude, a successful man? Every woman want one. But the problem is there's not a whole bunch of them to pass around. And ladies, y'all don't want no 50-50 dude because y'all said that if you got to go 50-50, you'd rather just pay the 100% by yourself. The math don't make no sense to me because if somebody would help me with half the bills, I would gladly take it. That's a win. But hey, listen, that everybody have their opinion and everybody have their perspective. And if you ladies don't want to go 50-50 and you want to pay the 100% of the bills by yourself, hey, listen, I'm not here to tell you what to do and what not to do. You do what you do what's good for you. But I also realize that we are in a place where we are facing a lot of homelessness too. Let's keep it a buck now, ladies. A lot of y'all are on the verge of being homeless. And the thing about a man being homeless is a man to figure that crap out. A woman not built to be homeless, not in my opinion. A man can probably sleep in the woods, uh, uh, washing his ass only a couple times a week, and he'll find a way to make it. And that man may one day go from rags to riches. I've seen it happen. But women not necessarily built like that. It's just not how y'all were designed. So it's nothing personal. And it's respect, and I'm saying this respectfully. So I don't want to see a woman having to sleep on the streets and being homeless. I don't want to see that. But I also need women to understand that if y'all on this narrative where y'all saying, well, it gotta be a good dude, he gotta be top tier. Well, ladies, guess what? You're gonna have some competition. That's right, I said it. If you think that if there's a successful man that is not married, he's successful, he's educated, he got all the boxes to check. If you think that other chicks ain't checking for him and ain't and eventually ain't gonna come for him, you are crazy to believe that. And and then when you have those men that are well older, well refined, still in shape, man, listen, that kind of guy can go from a woman his age all the way down to a woman in her mid 20s. That's a fight. I'm not saying that's what a man should do, but that's what a man could do because we know that women are hypergamous, especially when they're young. And you see young chicks going after older dudes all the time. I'm not saying that's you know, to each his own. But the fact of the matter, what she said makes a lot of sense because women would rather you'd rather be a side piece or you'd rather be girlfriend number two or friend number two or whatnot versus in just saying, well, hey, listen, why not we all just do this as a team and instead of we splitting hairs, why not combine our resources and get at that bag of money and potentially be great? Why not? Now, I'm not saying that I agree or disagree with what she's saying. I'm just saying from the standpoint, from my point of view, it makes sense to what she says. Why be a side chick when you can be wife number two, three, whatever? And knowing that that man gonna have to care for every one of those women equally. He can't take better care of wife number one and wife number two get the scraps. No, everybody got to be taken care of equally. That means you need to support them equally emotionally, physically, intimately. Now, some might say, well, how can one man do that? And then if you mess around and have 3 wives, somebody say, how in the hell can you do that? It's hard to keep one woman satisfied, let alone 2 or 3. So, family, at the conclusion of what she said, it just made a lot of sense. But here's the problem. The problem why that'll never work with most women. Because most women gonna tell you that they're territorial. They don't want to share their man, and most women are gonna be possessive of their dude, especially if he's a high caliber dude. So in their mind, they ain't trying to share. They'll much rather pretend like they don't know about the other chick, but then they'll what I'm saying, they'll be okay with that. But anything less than that, well, I ain't trying to share. It's like, well, I just don't understand. So what she said, when you look at it from a financial standpoint, if he's successful and his wives are successful, man, I can only imagine what they could do with three sources of income. Man, just imagine if the dude got three, he got 3 or 4 separate lines of residual income, plus his potential wives' income. Man, you know what you can do with that family? But because women, on average, they are they're very emotional, and that's okay because they were designed to be that way. Um, they are going to deem their man is their property, their possession, and most women, because of their egos, they're not going to see themselves as being okay with sharing with another woman, not knowingly. And what I mean by knowingly, like it's in her face, like they all living together. But family, what y'all think about this? Y'all think this lady make a valid point? Y'all think she may she gives good advice, saying everybody want a good man, but there ain't a whole lot of good men going around, and it's gonna come to a time that women might have to share a man. Let me tell you something. If we keep going the rate that we're going in our society on this planet, what happens if there is some type of catastrophic event where half of humanity is wiped out? So, ladies, what y'all gonna do then? So you think this one dude, you gonna be able to keep this one dude all of yourself when you probably got by a whole village full of women? What happened if you only got like what happened if you got the ever, your half of humanity get wiped out, and now you only got freaking 50 men on the whole planet, but then you got 1,000 women. You think y'all ain't gonna be sharing? Y'all, yes, y'all gonna be sharing openly. And you gonna knowingly share because that is what it's gonna take to survive. So I think that women should sometime approach certain matters that maybe they deem as being taboo. But this whole men having, multiple wives, that's been around for a while, since the beginning of time. So this is nothing new. So the fight that this whole polygamy thing is being more approached and accepted, and in particular by sisters in the West, that's what's that kind of like, wow, you never thought you'd see something like that, but it's happening. So family, what do you think? You think this young woman, this young sister, well, she ain't no young sister, she'll be middle aged, but respectfully, y'all think she brought some good points to the table? I think so. Well, family, always remember, be more tomorrow than you were yesterday. Peace.